Happy Tuesday morning. Just got off of work. I've been driving my van a lot lately. There's my porch light with the motion sensor. I only have a couple more things to do and my van will be complete. The big one was the lift kit. Now I have to get a rear locking diff. Two options. I could go with an automatic rear locker. A rear locker is a traction aid, so when you have a two-wheel drive vehicle, you have one tire moving, the other trails. So the tire with the least amount of traction is the one moving. That's why it's easy to get a two-wheel drive vehicle stuck. What a rear locker does is exactly how it sounds. Both tires are locked in and both tires move at the same time, giving you better traction. So this is a two-wheel drive van, so I want this to be as capable as a two-wheel drive van can be. So my two options, I could go automatic rear locker like a Detroit True Track, just under $800. So that sort of locker, it detects when your tires are slipping and then it'll give both tires traction. Or I could go selectable locker like a Eaton E-locker. Those cost between $900 and $1,600, a lot more expensive, probably a more expensive install. So the Eaton E-locker, when you need traction, you just press a button and both tires will lock. So you choose when you want both tires in the back moving. So that one would be more fun, of course, because if I got an Eaton E-locker, I could do demos running an open diff that's one tire moving, or I could do videos with both tires locked, so I could do a comparison how helpful a rear locker is. If I have a automatic locker, the problem is I don't know when it's running in locker mode, so it does it when you need it. So here's the thing, how much cheaper is an automatic locker going to be to install? And then the big one is Regear. So this is stock tires. So these vans are running 373s from the factory. So 373s, that's a pretty good gear. It's a good compromise between towing and power. So if I went 265 without a Regear, I'd be down to a 355 gear. That's still a decent gear. If I went to 285s, my gearing would be like a 340. I don't want to run a 340. So if I go 410 gears, when I get the locker installed, then my gearing will be a lot better. If I go 265s with the 410, I think I'm going to have like a 390 gear overall, and this thing's going to have a lot of power with the 390. It's a very torquey vehicle as is, so it's tempting to go 265. I don't want to go 456 gears. My van will run too high of an RPM with 456s, but it'll be a rocket with 456s. So man, 265s, I would have like a 390-ish gear, and then 285s, I would have like a 380 gear or so. So it would still be a higher gearing or a lower gearing than stock. So regardless, if I go 410 and 265 or 410 and 285s, I'm still going to have more power than I'm running now, and no complaints about the power on this van. So that's the dilemma. There you go, V10. So my dilemma is, man, how much is it going to cost to do an automatic rear locker? You know, like, what are they going to charge for labor? If it's just under $1,500, it's tempting altogether, because I don't want to sit on this as a project forever. I want to get this completed soon. I want to go to Arizona early next year, and I would love for this to be a complete van by the time I go to Arizona. Maybe I could do a little off-roading by then. So I'm just gonna start pricing stuff out. So that's another thing I want to bring up. Lift kits are cool. I mean, I've taken this off-roading once, and I have a little footage, some mild off-roading. I've taken it out once, and it did fine. But yeah, I got a lift kit because I like how they look. I like how lifted vans look. They just have an imposing look to them. But in all honesty, like, let's say you have a choice between rear locker or a lift kit right now. Rear locker is going to get you further than a lift kit will get you alone. So versus each other, a rear locker is better. Put together, that would be great, because a rear locked lifted van, that's as good as a two-wheel drive van will ever get. You're not going rock crawling. You're not going to go 100 miles per hour in the sand in a van. The whole point of a lifted van with the rear locker is to be able to go where standard vehicles can't go. You're going to be able to get pretty far. You're going to be able to go off-road where most trucks could get to. The only thing you can't do is you really can't go mudding too much, and you can't go rock crawling. But other than that, desert will be easy work with a lift kit and a locker. So yeah, I want to get this done by next year. So I'm just going to start pricing things out. So leave it in the comments. What would you guys do? Would you go automatic rear locker, or do you want that selectable locker so you could know when your rear tires are locked? Is it worth the extra money in your opinion? Because automatic rear locker about 800 bucks. Eaton e-locker, I mean, I've seen some for 1,000, but I don't know if I could get any that cheap for the Dana 60. I'm running a Dana 60 full float rear axle. So yeah, see, I got a full float rear axle. I believe it's a Dana 60. I'm gonna have to go to a gear shop to get everything correct, because I don't want to buy something and it doesn't fit. That's up to them to get everything correct that I'm gonna need. So there it is. There's my van. Still has the small tires. And yeah, I got some options here. Selectable or automatic, and do I go 265 or 285s? 265s, man, this thing's gonna have some power. I'll be able to do burnouts with 265s and 410s. 285s will be a bigger tire to look better. But here's the thing, will my sliding door clear? That's why I'm like really torn on if I should do 285s. I'm not going to change the rim. I'm not changing the rim. And look how much clearance I have. About 1 inch. So maybe when I put 285s, the width will be distributed. So if 285s are about 2 inches wider than 245s, I think it'll fit. If it's about 3 inches wider, it might not fit. So yeah, that's about 1 inch right there. So if I gotta just look at tire dimensions. So yeah, because if it doesn't clear, it's gonna hit about right here. I mean, my door opening will still be decent. Decisions. Topped off on fuel. I see this sticker a lot when I top off on fuel. This person must be real popular. Zeroed out my trip meter. 129,493 miles. Did my oil change at 129,300 miles. I relocated my ultra gauge. Now it's in my eyesight. I had it way down here, and I don't want to look down anymore, especially when I start towing my tracker. I got my RPM right here, and engine temperature, how much fuel I have left, how much I could travel before I'm empty, instantaneous predictor, and average miles per gallon. I'll do a video on this when I start towing my tracker, show you guys the stats, how everything's doing. That's a good sound.